Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon. It is much appreciated. To all of my loyal followers, I do appreciate your support. I am very humbled whenever I go out and I see people and they say, "Oh, Miss Malcolm, I listen to your show every day." And I'm like, wow, thank you so much. This show is nothing without an audience. And I just want to say thank you to the audience who is growing and making GPS really taking us to new and higher levels day by day. Our audience is growing significantly, and it does not go unappreciated. And so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who tunes in every day. I feel really good when somebody from the outside sends me a clip from GPS, and I'm like, wow, that somebody else would have sent to them. And it is very encouraging, and I want to thank you all very, very much for taking the show in and making the show a part of your afternoon routine. All of us here at Global appreciate your presence here. All right, so we're treating today's show as a Hot Topic Tuesday, and everybody knows what the Hot Topic is. I mean, unless you live under a rock, you know what the hot topic is in this country today. And the hot button issue, obviously, is immigration, and illegal immigration. But I want to go at this. I want to try to be balanced as much as possible on this show. And whereas it is really easy to throw rocks at one side and say, why aren't you doing more? I think that when you do see action, then as quick as you are to throw rocks, you should be equally as quick to say, good job. Now keep it up. Not good job. We'll take a break. Because this problem has mushroomed into such a huge challenge for this country that the powers that be can't afford to pat themselves on the back for 2 minutes talking about, oh, look at the good we've done. No, this thing has been allowed to become a huge elephant in the room. And if that elephant isn't dealt with, you put an elephant in a bone china shop, and you know some China is going to be destroyed. So we can't afford to pat ourselves on the back and say, job well done, when we only took a bite out of an elephant. Neither can we afford to look at the size of the elephant and throw our hands up in the air and say, oh Lord, this is just too big. We can't deal with this. It's just too big of a problem. No, because unless you start, every journey begins with the first step. The journey to 1,000,000 miles, 1,000 miles, however many miles begins with the first step. I think what happens is people look at the size of the problem in front of them and they throw their hands up in the air and they give up before they even try to tackle the problem. But when it comes to this whole question of illegal immigration, this is a huge elephant, without doubt. Biggest one I've ever seen. But how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so it would be foolish. I want you to imagine you got this big elephant in front of you that you got to eat. And you take a bite and you sit down with your chest stick out and say, oh yeah, see, I took a bite. Meanwhile, the rest of the elephant, they're looking at you like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? So you really gotta, continue at it. That's the point I'm trying to make here. But you can't, I think we as a collective should not ignore when a bite is taken. Let me put it that way. Because I think out of sheer frustration, people are so fed up with this issue of illegal immigration that many people I've heard look at the bite and say, yeah, whatever. Because you're only doing that because now it's a hot button issue and all this heat on you. And so now you take a bite just to throw us off. Is that the approach that we should be taking? Is that the attitude that we should have with regard to the efforts that are being made to eradicate this problem? And are those efforts genuinely the beginning of change as it relates to this problem, or are the cynics correct in their attitude of, yeah, whatever, you're just doing this because you're being agitated to do it? These are the things I want to talk about today. As a reminder, our show is streaming live on Facebook. You can catch us on the Global 99.5 FM page, as well as the official Michelle Malcolm page on Facebook. We're also streaming live on YouTube. You can call into the show, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages only is 801-0271, 801-0271. And we're also on cable channel 974, Cable Bahamas, channel 974. So like and share the show. Let everyone know that this is a Hot Topic Tuesday. I did invite one person to be here, but up until about an hour ago, they were still uncertain as to whether or not they could join us. If not, no worries, because I'm sure that you, my audience, will have a lot to say on this topic. So let's get right to it. So Rain on Facebook says, I believe that this is a small step toward greater things to come about. And Louis Barton says, anything for clout. Okay, so what am I talking about? You may say, Michelle, what bite you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I see no activity here on the ground in Nassau. Well, as you know, we're an archipelago. We're not just Nassau-centric, but we have an entire nation of islands out there. Many of our family islands have been under siege. I mean, under siege, being overrun with illegal immigrants. And one of our most vocal critics has been the person of Kai, what Kai last name is? Kai Mills out of Abaco. Kai has been prolific in producing videos and saying, you know, something got to be done. He's been talking about how his life was threatened on many occasions, how there seemed to be an unwillingness on the part of the authorities on that island to do anything about the problem, that everybody seemed to be looking the other way, that when you agitated, you know, for change to happen, they come and they lock you up instead. So he's been very, very, very vocal about this problem in Abaco. And trust me when I tell you the problem in Abaco is bad. Bad. Well, lo and behold, I was shocked when Kai put out this video a couple of days ago, and I was like, what? Huh? Kai actually had praise in his mouth because of activities that were taking place in Abaco. I am going to play the video for you that Kai recently produced about action on the ground in Abaco, an operation to deal with the illegal migrants on that island. Here we go.
That's why I could thank Minister Keith Bell when I see this kind of operation happening here. What's happening this big time. This doesn't happen in my lifetime in a long time. That you see big operation going on, big immigration boss here, big police, big immigration. This is what we need in this country. We need this every day. Loretta, I didn't thought you were going to go in the bush. Glad that you wake up. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Thank you, Keith Bell. You're doing an awesome job. You're doing an awesome job. Keep them coming. Keep them in the bush there. Keep them on it. They won't threaten me. We got the big guns here. We even got Henfield. Henfield, look how he tired. Look how he can't run no more. We got the Defense Force Chief. Boy, look here. I wish I had enough money to keep you all out there waking. Don't stop waking. Hope Town is floating. Look how high Hope Town is floating because of the good minister. My God. Thank you, Mr. Bell. Keep them coming. I wish I had this on live. I should go live. Let me just click this and go live. Massive operation. Thank God for Keith Bell. There's only a quarter of what's in Hope Town. We got look at all young boys. All them from the Tutu Makut. They're the ones to come to take over the Bahamas. Thank God. Look at my favorite policeman there. Look at law enforcement finally waking up. Thank you, Keith Bell. Let's get these people out of this country. Not for this bullshit. We can't take this no longer. Y'all doing an awesome job. I wish I had some money to buy y'all a collect to cool off because it's no sun hot out there. But keep out there. This is a massive operation. This haven't happened in my lifetime of being in Abaco. I feel proud to be a Bahamian. Even Parodi there. Parodi lose some weight today. Thank God that they were able to rumble some of these down. Y'all need to keep the heat on. Keep the heat on. I'm proud to be a Bahamian on this day. Get them suckers out of here. Ungrateful fellas, we come here trying to take over. No respect for this country, no respect for law and order. It's time we get some law and order in this town. Law and order is here. Keep it right here. Keep it hot. Keep the pressure on. Don't let the pressure go. Henfield, you're doing an awesome job. I never thought I'd tell you that, but you're doing good. You're doing a good job, man. I never thought I'd tell you that, but you're doing good. You find any dope out there, you got the DEU, any drugs, any coke, any marijuana, because they're bringing that in too. Don't leave nothing undone. Keep waking, keep waking. Keep the pressure on. Keep their fist to the fire. Thank you, Minister Bell. Whoever's in charge of this operation, y'all go home and get a rest and go back to Hope Town. Don't keep off Hope Town. Let Hope Town float. Freer. Too much illegals out there and they biggity. They biggity and they bracing. So thank God for this massive operation. I could talk all day. I just got new energy. I didn't know they were coming in now, but I came here at the right time. God always put me in the right place so the Bahamas could see what's going on. Thank you, Minister Bell. You're doing a great job. Thank you, officers. Keep waking. Don't stop waking. I want this to happen year-round. Now, what they need to do is start to lock up the owners. The owners would employ these people. They need to lock them up. Good job, Defense Force. Good job. Yeah. Now start to lock up them owners. Them owners who want to do a bunch of food to Kai Mills. Lock all them up. Lock everybody up. Nobody goes on. Only way you're going to put a damper on this, you just got to arrest the owners. The people who employ these people, they need to be arrested. Enfield, you hearing me? You need to arrest the owner who employ these Haitians. Lock they behind up. Lock everybody up. Don't let nobody go. It's with time we have some law enforcement in this town. And I just want to be happy to see that you're all doing your job. Finally.
Okay, so for my radio audience, what the video was actually showing was an operation that involved the police, the immigration department, DEU, Defense Force. All of these agencies were on the ground working apparently together, and they were rounding up, or had rounded up, I should say, a group of young men, I guess, who were in the country without status, without the rights to be here, came in illegally. They were rounding them all up. They had a huge bus they were putting them on. And you could obviously tell that this was a big operation in terms of the cooperation between all the various departments to deal with this issue. And I thought it was interesting because, like I said, Kai has been quite vocal about the inactivity that has happened on the island, or seemed to be happening on the island. And he was quick to go and praise Keith Bell, Minister of Immigration, as well as all of the officers that were involved and the departments that were involved in this operation. Now, there are some out there who say, yeah, they're only doing this now because the heat is on them. So now they got to act like they're doing something. So we're not impressed. Is that a fair position to take? Are you putting the authorities in a position by taking that attitude, if you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't? Because if you don't do anything, we turn around and we say, see, they ain't doing nothing. Get them out of here. And then if you do something, yeah, whatever, y'all only doing that because we making noise. So, what you want the people to do? What you want them to do? If they don't do something, you make noise. If they do something, you make noise. What is it that you want to see happen so that you will be satisfied that this is not just a PR exercise to get you comfortable and then they go back to sleep? Derek says the actions must be collaborative at both regional and international levels. CARICOM must take more active involvement, and the UN should be used as a vehicle to bring this illegal migration matter to the attention of the world. The bites might be best in big chunks. All right, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Michelle, I can hear you on the radio, but I can't hear you on the phone.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right.
My first question, and first of all, good afternoon to you and to the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
What was Kyle Mills arrested for some weeks ago on your show? I didn't hear that show that day.
I think they said that and it wasn't related to our show. This was they said that he had defamed someone's character, but it didn't have anything to do with our show.
Got it.
Yeah.
I thought it might have had something to do with this
No.
illegal immigration situation.
No, he was actually on our show the following day, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it didn't have any. Well, they claimed that it was defamation of character because of something that he would have said about one of the, I think, senior police officers.
Okay, got it. You know, one of the things we need to do, Michelle, as I was listening to him narrate that video, one of the things we have to do in the country, honestly, is we have got to become more, what's the right word? Passionate is not the word I'm looking for, but that's probably the best word I can find right now, about how we deal with those Bahamians who are perpetrating the inflow
of
illegal. You know, the saying is, if you want to kill a snake, you cut the head off.
Right.
And that's an absolute fact in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, for this situation to stop, to be reversed, and then let me interrupt my thought and just acknowledge and thank the Defense Force and CDU or whomever else were out there in that massive cleanup, because I mean, I couldn't see it literally. Of course, nobody could on the radio, but
Right.
it sounded pretty interesting.
Right.
The bosses, the employers, the landowners, all of those persons who have employed and been employing illegals over the years, they honestly need to be arrested. And if not in prison, they need to be fined financially, heavily. Because, Michelle, you know how a lot of us Bahamians go. We never pay attention until we feel it where it hurts. Like our grandma used to say years ago, if you don't listen, you don't feel. And actions always speak louder than words. So in regards to some people's attitude about, hey, you know, y'all only doing this now because the heat is on, it is so sad that we as a people have developed the culture or the mindset of dealing with issues when they are hot, and then of course we tend to fall off and let things slack off, and then the problem rears its head again. So the question begs to be asked, what now is the government going to do to ensure that, one, this illegal immigration problem is stopped, and number two, that the vast numbers of those who are here, or at least all of those who are here illegally, are taken out of this country and sent back to their home countries? Those are the two things we need to answer, Michelle.
Right.
And of course, to stop the Bahamians from employing them. You have, see, Michelle, oh Lord, this thing is so multifaceted.
Yeah, it
so
is.
multifaceted.
It is. And a lot of people are making some huge money.
Well,
It all boils down
yeah, the
to
money.
greed
Yeah.
and corruption.
In the Bible tell you the love of money is the root of all evil. That's what God say. Anytime people are willing to compromise morality or to compromise their country for the sake of money, those are the people that the Bible is talking about when it talks about the love of money is the root of all evil. And anything illegal is evil. Anything immoral is, no, I shouldn't say, anything immoral is evil, because not everything that is legal is moral.
Right.
Or immoral, you know, depending on how we choose to look at things from God's point of view. But at the end of the day, I do commend all of the law enforcement agencies for stepping up. When did this action happen, by the way? I didn't get that part.
It was within a couple of days. I'm thinking it was, today is Tuesday, it was last week sometime.
Okay. And this, of course, was after the Supreme Court struck down the injunction.
Yes.
You know, Michelle, if you ask me, that injunction should have never been put up in the first place.
Well, it is what it is.
It was. But see, let me tell you why I'm saying that, Michelle. If our Constitution speaks clearly about how we are supposed to govern, meaning that we are a country of law and order, and you have persons in this country either coming here illegally and are doing things illegally when they're here, how could the Supreme Court ever countenance something that's illegal by putting an injunction against those who are trying to stop that which is illegal? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I'm not a legal mind, so I didn't understand the ruling then. I don't understand it now, but I think one of the things that I do agree with, and the criticism of both the former and current administration that were both quote unquote limited by that ruling, was why none of them appealed it immediately after it was handed down. Why,
could it be, Michelle, because some of them might be or might have been involved behind the scenes in the problem being what it is?
Well, I can't speak to that.
Well, I don't know this for a fact, mind you. I'm just speculating.
See, what people have to realize is that when you're on the air, you got to be very careful what you say.
True enough.
because that's why you have an ERCA. You know, people get annoyed at me when I try to take the middle ground and I say, well, allegedly, or no, Michelle, you're trying to cover up. No, I have a responsibility to the station and to myself to not be sued because we say something that we cannot prove without saying allegedly. So people need to understand that. I can't allow you, and when I say you, I'm not speaking about you personally.
Right.
I'm speaking in general.
Yeah.
I can't allow you to call this station, call the show, and start throwing accusations at people and their character, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and not say, whoa, because I know what it feels like to be sued.
Right.
Many years ago, when I used to work at ZNS, I was a young reporter and covering election campaign, and a particular politician said something on the podium during a rally, and in my report, I said, he said, because he said something about some prominent Bahamians, and obviously I'm not going to go into naming them because I don't want to get sued again.
Indeed. Was been very shy, right?
You understand? But he said something about some prominent Bahamians. All I did was report what the man said.
Oh, wow. And
next thing I know, I get sued. My editor gets sued. The general manager gets sued. The corporation, they sue everybody.
Actually broadcasting what was said?
Yes. And that was a lesson to me.
But Michelle, the person who sued you based on what you reported as was said, they were wrong.
Well, wrong or not, the law gave them the right to sue us.
But they were still wrong. They had no...
Okay? So I say that to say, the people who get upset with me.
Yes.
Oh, you trying to take off for this and you taking it? No. You have to be responsible when you on the air. Now, what I say and believe in my private time, that's my business.
That's exactly. Now, see, Michelle, that brings me to a point. I listened to Leslie Miller last week when you had him on CLN on that hot show.
Right.
He said a few words on air that he shouldn't have said. And I think Urka might have frowned at that one. I heard him say...
You got to be very careful.
He said two particular words that I honestly believe he ought not to have said on air. And of course, I'm not going to repeat them.
Right.
But, that's just a little sidebar. But getting back to the point at hand, you see, Michelle, the reason why I say I'm wondering whether or not persons in this country in authority might be a part of the problem is because, Michelle, one, you remember the saying, touch any other Haitian, but don't touch mine? And then...
and I remember who said it, too.
And also, you had the situation with a lot of the past several elections. I've been hearing this. I've been hearing Bahamians say that some of the politicians on the campaign trail, when they're speaking, they're saying to Haitians, "Oh, we are here for you. We are a part of you. We are a part of you."
You know, if I ever got the opportunity to interview Prime Minister Davis, one of the questions I would like to ask him is whether or not he regrets saying those words. Because they have come back to bite him hard.
Oh, so he's the one who would have said that, eh?
No, they have the thing on tape that went viral.
Well, see, I didn't hear it. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm having the access to be asked.
And now, his opponents are using that to say, see, this man, we don't see him on tape telling the Haitian people, I am one of your... So,
but see, Michelle, and my comment isn't in respect to the Prime Minister, but
and he ain't the first one to do it, by the way. But they got him on tape.
But see, this is my point. This is why I asked the question, speculating now. The problem that we have with illegal immigrants in this country, is it because we have a lot of people in authority who might be fueling this by hiring them?
I don't know if it's so much fueling it by hiring them. I know that we have had people make it all the way to Parliament who came from Haitian heritage, and obviously had a hidden bias because of that. So maybe that had something to do with it. And then there is the big money, of course, that's involved in this, whether it be from the big corporations or the small business people who are hiring illegal migrants, or and then you got the money that's involved in the alleged
human trafficking,
corruption in terms of
okay,
documents allegedly
yes,
being sold.
mm-hmm.
And then you got the human trafficking aspect of it. And this thing is a
It is.
multi-million-dollar
ugly
racket. And there are multiple layers like an onion. And the more you peel, the more you find. And so there's a reason why there has been such a resistance over the years to fix this problem.
That's why I asked that question, Michelle. I don't know of anybody myself who might be involved in stoking the fire, so to speak. But Michelle, like the old folks say, where there's smoke, more than likely there is fire. So the question is, the problem that has been allowed over successive administrations, FNM and PLP, could the problem have been allowed to get out of control? Might be, maybe, because, allegedly, maybe because you have people or had people in authority who might have been financially benefiting from it. See, Michelle, it's not a question of accusation. It's a question of curiosity and concern. Because, Michelle, no problem exists on this planet without a source or a cause. Right. So we as a people now, we have to really and truly identify what the source and the cause of the problem is and root them out.
And it could be easy, JT. This ain't
I dare say it won't be easy.
Because you got some deep trenched corruption and greed involved in this whole thing that goes anyway.
So, Michelle, are we as a people then are going to allow the few of the greedy to destroy the whole country?
Well, we've been doing that for generations.
Well, Loftus-Roker.
And I ain't just talking about immigration.
No, of course.
You got some very wealthy people in this country. Oh, look at what happened in Haiti. You got the wealthy people in Haiti allegedly fueling all of the unrest for their own personal gain.
Shucks, look what happened over there in Russia.
So we may not have wealthy people in this country fueling unrest, but we have wealthy people in this country, for instance, who are allegedly, how do I put this? Influencing decisions as it relates to things like the petroleum industry.
Yep. The Aragonite industry.
Keeping us in a stranglehold because of their own personal gain. And not so much looking out for the interests of the entire nation.
Exactly.
So this happens all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world. And see, I mentioned Putin just now because one of the things that baffled me last year around this time when Russia invaded Ukraine, how in heaven's name could a whole nation of people allow just one person to destroy their whole economy, all because of his greed, wickedness, ego, madness? One person. Russia's economy.
You ain't got to go back to Russia.
Well,
you forget what happened to us during the pandemic.
well,
you forget what happened right here in the Bahamas.
No. Honestly, I ain't forget. But the thing is, I mean, Dr. Minnis obviously was a problem. He was a problem. He showed himself to be, from all indications, a tyrant.
You going far? You going away, Russia?
Well, will I come back home? Because when you bring me back home, I gotta face the reality of what's in my own backyard.
One man.
And see, while the Constitution gives government leaders of this country certain authorities, it doesn't give them the authority to destroy the country. It doesn't give them the authority to insult the wisdom and the integrity and the common sense and decency of we the citizenry. It doesn't give government that right.
Yeah, but we giving them the right, JT.
But Michelle, a lot of us people, a lot of us behemoths never knew what our rights were.
This is one of the things that Professor Thompson talks about every Monday on this show.
True enough.
Every Monday he says it. Yeah. We giving them the right to do what they're doing.
But Michelle, while I agree at face value that we've given the authorities the authority to misuse and abuse us in many instances, I can't run from that. But my thing is, Michelle, if you don't know that you can stand for something, then why is it that you would stand, or what is it upon which you would stand when you don't know? A lot of us are operating in ignorance in this country, Michelle. And my fellow listeners, ignorance simply means the lack of knowledge or not knowing.
Right.
I'm not insulting anybody.
Right.
It's, Michelle, I mean, a lot of us just never knew. And ignorance, when you operate in ignorance, you tend sometimes to do things even to hurt yourself. Simply because you don't know that you shouldn't do what you're doing. So all I can say, Michelle, is when it comes right back down to this immigration problem, if we are honestly going to root out the problem, do our endeavor to correct it, we first of all have got to make some serious changes to our Constitution, strengthening that document to clearly make clear who belongs in the Bahamas and who doesn't.
That's clear enough. We just got to follow it.
Michelle, I believe putting more in there, but I'll take your point about following what's in there. We need to enforce the law. And Michelle, you know what was such a sad commentary? I think I heard you and somebody else say this, that the Bahamas Contractors Association indicated that the building contractors industry would fold up,
would collapse
if illegals were not here.
The man said it.
You know what that says, Michelle? That we as a people since 1973 have failed to continue to develop our own potential and our own capacity to run and operate this country. That's simply what it says to me. You have look at all of the Bahamian males out there who are killing up themselves.
Well, it says a bit more to me than that. In addition to what you just said, it also says to me that people just have no respect for law and order in this country. Because for you to actually go on the air and say on the air, because this was, he actually said this to a news agency, that it would collapse without illegal immigrants. So what you're saying is, well, man, to hell with y'all, we hiring illegals because
that's the way to keep our business going.
Trying to tell us that you have zero respect for law and order in this country, but and you even ain't ashamed to admit that.
On top of that, though, Michelle, it really boils down essentially, in my view, to this. Too many of us Bahamians hated us as Bahamians. Either the blacks was hating the whites or the whites was hating the black. We ended up developing tribalism amongst ourselves as a people, and instead of us living up to our national motto, forward, up, and onward together, we started to do things contrary to a healthy country, and now we are reaping the sour grapes.
Well, if you plant corn, you can't expect peas to come up. We have another caller, JT.
True, God bless you.
Thank you for calling, eh? All right, we got a cell phone caller. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle. First time caller, always listening to your show.
Thank you.
You know, I really do enjoy your show.
Thank you.
And just to let the caller know that just hang up, you know, a lot of people's eyes are opening, especially to the class that you have every Monday.
Right.
I downloaded the both of my phones.
Fantastic.
So as you guys going through each article, I am going through each article and I'm writing it down as I go.
This is encouraging to hear. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Very good. I'm happy to hear that.
And it's free.
Yes, it is. Right
to
there.
See where we Google things to find out information and find out this will be happening on 24210. Take time out and download that 111 pages of the Constitution of the Bahamas so you can know your rights as a Bahamian citizen. That's all I have to say.
Exactly. Very good. Thank you, caller. Appreciate that. I know Professor's very happy to hear that because that's all he wanted, really, to get people to wake up and start paying attention to that document so that you can know what your rights are. Okay, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hear from the Prime Minister about the action that we now see happening as it relates to immigration, illegal immigration. He says, y'all need to, I am paraphrasing here, keep calm and trust the process. He didn't say keep calm. I did. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here. Remember, we are streaming live on Facebook on the official Global 99.5 FM Facebook page, as well as the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page. We are also available on the phone. Call us at 3260271, 3260271, or 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line is 8010271. And you can also catch us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. So, Prime Minister Davis had an opportunity to speak to reporters who questioned him about the latest activity going on as it relates to the illegal immigration plan. And one of the things that he encouraged those reporters to do is to trust the process. Here now is what the Prime Minister had to say with regard to that.
You don't want to solve one problem and then create another. You don't want to demolish places where people are living and they have no place to stay. That's one issue. We also, what I've said, you would have heard me say that, first of all, the documented Haitians who are in shanty towns, we are going to find who their employers are and oblige those employers to find a place for them to stay. Undocumented persons living in these shanty towns, we will process them and repatriate them. Yeah. Bahamians who are living in the shanty towns, we'll speak to them and ask them to move out. That's a process. Once that is completed, and that is ongoing as I speak, we've had some operations here in Abaco recently. That is ongoing as we speak. And once all those are settled, then you'll see the shanty towns being demolished.
So there are some who have been stating that that the government was seeking to find housing for illegal immigrants, while Bahamians, many of whom are down and out, are living in cars, etc., and they weren't too concerned about finding housing for them, yet they're looking to find housing for the illegal immigrants. That was the narrative that was put out there. And so the media had an opportunity to speak to the Minister of Social Services, Obi Wilscombe, and questioned him on that. And here is what he had to say. And then after this clip, we're going to bring my guest into the conversation.
Well, the reality is, if they're Bahamians and they are living in shanty towns, the truth is we have to assist. If you are here illegally, then of course the other authorities will deal with that. But those who are seeking assistance who might be in shanty towns and they're Bahamians, then we have to provide the assistance, even for the short term, depending on the program. What the Prime Minister's made us do is sit and come up with a plan. There is a start, a middle, and an end. He wants to make sure all is covered. He does not want to just break down the homes or remove the homes or demolish the shanty towns, and then where do people go? He wants to make sure that everything is covered. He wants it to happen, but he also wants to be humane in dealing with the people so that we have the demolition, then we provide whatever services that are necessary, and then of course if they have to be repatriated, some will be repatriated. It's all ensuring that the program is properly thought out, properly executed.
Okay, so joining me now here in studio is Kai Mills. Kai, welcome back to GPS. Always good to have you here.
Blessings, my pleasure.
Okay, so you are on the ground in Abaco, and I know that you have been complaining for quite some time about what you saw happening on the ground and what appeared to be resistance on the part of authorities to do anything about it. And now you're starting to see some activity on the ground that you are obviously pleased with. Tell us, what's happening. You would have heard just a moment ago what the Prime Minister had to say with regard to the process, what the Minister of Social Services had to say with regard to the process. But you are on the ground in Abaco. What is it that you're feeling as it relates to what you see happening there?
Well, after Hurricane Dorian, we didn't have much to celebrate. After Hurricane Dorian, somebody asked me the other day, today, how do you always there where news is happening? I say just keep an eye open and I see if there's a story, like at the crossing, the ferry dock, when all the illegals were being captured. I went beside myself because I didn't thought it would have been possible in my lifetime to see so much manpower from the defense force, police, and immigration collectively together, trying to rid us of the illegal problem that all over the Bahamas is facing. So I was overjoyed, and that's the most excitement I think I've had since the hurricane. That's 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really made me feel good as a Bahamian, to see that something is finally happening. But then when I saw the clip there, you don't really pay attention to Abaco because we don't have too much news. Probably the closest thing to news, real news in Abaco. And when I see them say something about they're going to find housing for the illegal Haitians before they break them down, that kind of bothered me as a Bahamian, as a Abaconian, because Hurricane Dorian broke our homes down. We still have the older people, Dundas, Murphy, Central Pines, Marshaba, that the government haven't came in to assist at all, and they're more concerned about assisting illegals. Majority, 99% of the people that are in those places are undocumented, illegal immigrants. And as an Abaconian, I got overjoyed by hearing and seeing them doing something on the ground, not 1 day, 2 day, but into 3 weeks of getting rid of these illegals and giving us a sense of belonging, that we are Bahamians. It is so sad, Michelle, when you see Bahamians, and I talk to them, I say, where you all at? Said, we're never coming back to Abaco. We were tired of the Haitians. They are rude. They speak in Creole loudly in every store. They're cutting in the front of you. They're doing everything that makes you feel that you're not in Abaco, you're in a strange country. And then when I see Obi, I saw Obi yesterday. Me and Obi was talking for about 4 or 5 months, but he just shut the phone off, so to speak, because I was telling him too much of true gospel. And when I see the Minister of Social Service on the ground to go on one little key to make sure that some billionaire get more money, that kind of make me sad, because we have so much social ills here. And Michelle, if they were serious, see, what the government don't realize, that Bahamians are saying less and paying more attention. They're being educated more and more by social media, and they watch the words that the politicians say. But what they're doing is opposite of what they're saying. And I said that when I see Obi speaks about their Bahamians, et cetera, then I see the Prime Minister said he's going to make sure that they're good. Well, Michelle, a year and a half or whatever since the PLP has been in power, we have 5 houses, 5 stone building that is built stronger than any structure that they are trying to build now. And the government stopped building those 5 structures, but people are still needing them. And then we have about 6 or 7 structures that are already built. 5 months, not one single Bahamian has got a house in 3.5 years. So when are you gonna govern for Bahamians? We haven't got one single house after Hurricane Dorian in two governments. But now this government is saying that before they break the illegal house down, they got to find housing for them, but not one single Bahamian in Abaco has got a house yet. The houses are available, and the question is, if it's built the inside and outside, why haven't the government brought 5 ministers down like they did yesterday to go on a little key to start a resort? When are we going to have the same respect, the same government to have 5 ministers to come down and open the houses that has been built for the past 5 months? And nobody knows when they're going to be open, why they're not open, why you stop the 5 structures that were given to Abaconians. That's 5 families that are still without a home. The older people are living with their children and their grandchildren. And the housing is available, and it was given free. And we can't get them to start it. The 5 houses that I'm talking about, is right in front of the primary school. It'll take 1 month of good construction, and you'll have 5 Bahamian families that are dying for a place before they leave Earth to call their own, and the places are available. But the Minister of Social Service haven't stepped in. The Prime Minister haven't stepped in. Both members of Parliament haven't stepped in. and the house is there every day, and it breaks my heart to see that these are available, and they're putting more focus on trying to make sure that the illegals have a place to go. And we went through 2 hurricanes, and the places are available, and not one Abaconian got a house yet.
So before you go on further, we have a call on the line, but before we go to the call, I just want to make it clear. Based on what, and there's a reason why I played those clips from the Prime Minister and the Minister of Social Services, because what was said in both of those clips is that if they find that there are persons within the shanty towns who are here illegally, they will be repatriated to their country. If they find that there are persons who are in the shanty towns who are of another nationality and are here legally, in other words, on a work permit, then their employers will be made to be responsible for finding them housing. And if they find that there are Bahamians living in the shanty towns, then those are the people, the Bahamians living there, who will be granted some kind of consideration as a result as it relates to finding housing. That is what both the Minister of Social Services and the Prime Minister said in those 2 clips. And that's why I played those 2 clips, so people could hear for themselves what they had to say as it relates to that. Before you respond, let's go to the phone calls. Caller, welcome to GPS. We lost them. Okay, so again, the number is call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272. Now, Anishka says, foolishness. You don't even know if persons living in the shantytown are legal. And I think that's the whole point of what they were trying to say, that it's a process as opposed to just going in there with a bulldozer, tearing everything down, and you don't know who is who and what is what. You find out who is who, what is what, who belongs in what category. You treat them accordingly. The illegals, you pack up and send home back to Haiti. You repatriate them. The ones who have the right to be here with work permit, you make sure that their employer is responsible for finding them housing. And then those Bahamians who live there, and there are some, we don't know how many, they will be given some consideration for assistance. That's what I understood after watching those 2 clips. We have another caller. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm. Good afternoon to your guest, Mr. Mills.
Good afternoon.
I heard the clip that you played.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for clarifying that for us. Now that the Prime Minister has spoken and the Minister of Social Services has spoken on the matter, now we just need to see how it's going to play out, because we're not trusting what the words that come out of their mouth.
Right.
So on another note, as it relates to this illegal immigration crisis that's going on in our country,
mm-hmm.
Calling out Mr. Rupert Roberts from Super Value, who's the owner, because going into Super Value, and I frequent in Super Value, I'm in there almost every day, different locations, and I'm seeing the same thing as it relates to the immigrants that's working as our packing boys now. We can't even say packing boys anymore. We got to say packing women.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because
not just the food, not just that particular food store, but several of the food stores are doing this now, and also gas stations. And when I hear people say, "Oh, they doing jobs that Bahamians don't want to do," Bahamians were doing those jobs before. And that little money used to help them packing boys. So how come all of a sudden now you could tell me Bahamians don't want to do these things when Bahamians is doing them all along? How come?
Thank you very much. So my thing is, I had an experience yesterday was very upsetting, because I watched one of the Haitian ladies. She was teaching the other Haitian lady how to pack the bags properly, and that was fine. But then when she came and brought my bags out to the car, and I was telling her, "Listen, that last bag that you packed, can I have that one, please?" She told me, "Excuse me, I don't speak English.
Man, you're joking.
Speak French."
Wow.
And I was like, "Okay, yeah, just say what it is. You speak Creole." Okay, you ain't understanding what I'm saying. I'm simply telling you, give me the last bag that you packed because I want to put that in my car, not in my back trunk.
Yeah.
So this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we need now them to step up because I had family members growing up who used packing bags. They was packing bags on the little afternoon and on the weekend to make their little lunch money.
Yeah, man, that
now
changes to help them boys.
So,
yeah,
so
for
you
sure.
trying to say we don't have young men or young boys now that could use a packing boy job?
Yeah, I agree
That's
with
ridiculous.
you. I agree with you.
So fix it. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be addressed and fixed. Thank you so much, Ms. Magum.
Thank you for calling. Okay, Kai, go ahead.
One thing that I asked the government to do, if they're serious about eradicating Abaco with illegals, and this is the excuse they made when I said, why you have immigration defense force and the police on the ground in Abaco? We have about 40 structures that are going up now. Why can't they break those down to show Abaconians and the Haitians that they mean business, not let them continue to build? There has to be a process. You got to stop it from the ground.
Right.
They told me that that's a Ministry of Works problem. I said, well, why can't Minister of Works and Minister of Immigration and all of them work together? This is a big problem, but don't use excuses. We want to see that it is stopped, and it don't have to get to a point where that it's they have to break the building down. If Kai Mills reporting right now that you're collecting illegals, and the same illegals are putting up 40 structures, shouldn't there be somebody on the ground to break these new structures that are starting? That's just common sense. That's just common sense.
Right.
But to them, it's not common sense. But us, we like to see it. And one thing, it is important, and this needs to happen. If the government would lock up these employers that have these illegals working and put them in the same jail cell, put them in the same court, there'll be a ricochet, there'll be a ripple effect throughout Abaco. Everybody will say, y'all need to come to my shop. Someone already started to do it because they saw that they were doing this. The lady just said, but packing boy, my first job at City Meat Market was a packer. Everybody in the supermarkets and Maxwell's is all Haitian girls and Haitian boys. We can't send our children out. That's why the Bahamian boys are being so lazy, because they don't have that sense of responsibility of hustle. They ain't got no hustle in them because the Haitian is taking the hustle right away from them. You can't send your children to work at a gas station. You can't send your little boy to park to go at the docks because the Haitian is kicking them out of their own country. You know what is sad? And I saw this 10, 15 years ago, that the teachers, the Bahamian principals, are telling the Bahamian single mother that there's no more room available in the primary school, that she has to go and find somewhere to carry her Bahamian children, because the Haitian parents, they are there from day one, line up to put their children in school for us to pay their bills. See, they don't pay for nothing. And the sad thing about this, Michelle, is that when the Haitian come to primary school, their first language is Creole. And the government of the Bahamas is telling the teachers, y'all gotta teach these children, so they have to slow the lesson down. So our Bahamian kids are being left behind so that we could teach Haitians to take over us, and they are not paying no bill when the single mother and the single father in Abaco has to pocket up and find money to put their kids in private school. The high schools and the primary school are 95% Haitian. So I ask, when they have these big fights in school, how come the Bahamian always getting beat? They say we are 10-1. The Haitian is fight. All of them has come to fight the Bahamian. So the Bahamian got to take their children out of government school. So we are being paid, the government, we are paying the government and the teachers to educate the Haitians to run our kids out of government sponsor school, and they ain't paid the first bill yet. 15 years later, we ain't catch up to what's going on in this country yet.
Yeah. I've said it repeatedly, and I'll say it again. And C. Allen talks about this as well. The agreement, the international agreement that we signed onto, said that we should not deny access to healthcare and education. It didn't say anything about providing it for free. And I just think that it just makes common sense that these people ain't paying no taxes. They ain't paying so make them pay for those services. We spend millions of dollars every year repatriating these people. Haiti is obviously, actions speak louder than words. They ain't coughing up no money to bring their people back home because, quite frankly, 25% of their GDP is made from the money that Haitians send back home from other countries. So they don't have, as a government, an incentive to stop their people from traveling out. That's how they make 25% of their money. Because when these people travel to other countries, they send remittances back home. 25% of the Haitian GDP is from those remittances. So clearly, there is no real desire on the part of the Haitian government to stop their people from going into other people's land. Clearly. But I don't understand, and maybe I just don't have a diplomatic mind to understand or whatever, why you offering these things for free and then complaining about all the money that we spending to send these people back home. I believe that we should be making them pay for education, we should be making them pay for health care, and we should be taxing heavier the remittances that are sent. And put all of that together in a pool to go towards repatriating those illegal immigrants that are apprehended in our country. So that would lessen the burden on the government, I would think. All the millions of dollars that are being spent on sending these people back home, make them contribute to that. Because if you could find millions of dollars to send out of this country every year, great God from Zion, you must could take something from that and put towards a pool what going towards sending you all back when we catch you. Now, that's just my little humble opinion.
Let me tell you something. The Haitian have the money. We recognize after the hurricane, every building was available for sale. And they are even connected in the bank. They have them working in the banks here in Abaco. And everybody that was back on their loan, the Haitian went and bought everything cash. Everywhere you go from Marshaba, Dundas and Murphytown, there was the mud and the peas that they all were. But there's no such thing as the mud and the peas. They are spread all out through the length and breadth of Abaco, and everything is cash because they never had to pay for nothing. They never had to pay for property. They never had to pay for materials. I told the government one simple thing that we know in Abaco. The material that they don't get from the foreign aid, they go at the dump. They have Haitians, they got about 10 Haitians that their job is every piece of material, especially when the big construction companies bring the stuff from Baker's Bay, the Abaco Club, and Hopetown, Manawa. They are lined off and they go through all these material and they have piles and piles of wood, free materials that they get from these big construction sites. And you got 10 Haitians that had 10 different piles, and they've been doing this for 3 years. And when sunset, if you go to sunset, you'll see trucks and trucks and trucks loads for 2 to 3 years of the Haitian coming from the city dump into the inner city, and that's how they're building these houses. How could the Haitian be smart in their 30s? How come there's no as simple as having a guard at the dump to stop the build up? If they would have had a guard at the dump, half of them houses wouldn't be built up. But they have a cartel going on at the city dump. Every night, there's 10 to 20 trucks going into the shanty town, and they're building overnight. And as simple as that, we have not, I know what's going on, but You talk to government people, they wouldn't do nothing. Again, you have a massive amount of response from immigration, but again, they are still building. Why? But oh yeah, I could go down there now and they clearing land. They know it's like the Indian. They have a smoke signal when they see immigration coming, so they go into the bush and lay down when immigration coming. When immigration go, they don't stop. They're like ants. You ever see ants stop building? They don't stop because the government, they recognize that the government is not serious. These people, in most instances, are smarter and more aggressive than the government. In order to stop this, you have to be as aggressive and overly aggressive as they are. You have to show them that this is my country, this is law. And when I say stop, I mean stop completely, not take it easy. They are not taking it easy. They just keep going.
We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Peace or shalom to you.
And you.
And your GPS. Yes, ma'am. Sure. The valuable citizens of Almighty God, who God has given an inheritance to. That ain't everybody in this country. That ain't everybody who believed this afternoon, that because they were born here, they deserve an inheritance from the divine wealth of a spiritual source. I don't care who you think you is. The leaders, political leaders that is, of our countries and nations, whether they know it, whether their citizens and their people know it, it's irrelevant to the facts. Two facts. One, the leaders are ministers of a source that is beyond human capacity to believe or imagine. And number two, the source that has brought this blessing to this people, he says, you can't work for it. The divine that you're asking for, you can't wait for it, Michelle, on Bahamas, on this Jubilee Road, yeah. We could not wait for it in the last 50 years. Your mommy, your daddy were responsible for paying it. They couldn't wait for it. And if they couldn't wait for it, you didn't deserve it. Because we were taught in modern times, you only deserve, or we only should deserve, what we're willing to work for. That ain't God's way. That's a trick from the enemy. And I come to tell any leader, from the least to the political leaders, the greatest, in this country and around the world. That ain't from God. The Most High, Elohim, the creator of the universe, the Almighty God, has given us the spirit of power and of love and of a sound mind. And I refuse to allow for a very long period of time for jokers who don't want to respect God, Michelle, to believe they have a reward. Talking about illegal immigrants, we all are foreigners and what once called uncircumcised.
So are you suggesting then that we should just throw open the floodgates and allow everybody in because we all...
No, I suggest we search the scripture. The scriptures say how we ought and why we ought to be careful. Where this grace and this mercy will be claimed that the Bahamians, those who under the British nationality deserve. Be careful. If we are not prepared to submit by manners and respect those who have come before us, who leads us, we are not ready to lead. And I could run on and on for hours. But the Bahamian people do not want to recognize their source, but they want the creation of the Creator.
Amos, I gotta let you go. All right, thank you. I gotta let you go because we gotta take a break.
Yeah.
Okay? Thanks for calling. Before we go to a break, I want to read this comment. Peter says, take the time to define politics. Only then you'll be enlightened as to why the Bahamas government can give a damn about illegal immigration. Successive governments have been naturalizing, giving residency and citizenship for the promise of a future vote. Get Luby Georges on your show to tell his story how he got straight. I'll say it again. The reward for slackness, corruption, and exploitation of those people is one day becoming their slave. One day your Haitian will become your, and that ended the message. Now, let me just say this. I have been trying to get Luby on the show for months. And the last time I reached out to Luby, I think was just a couple of days ago, last week, and invited him yet again. And Luby's response to me was, before I agree to come on your show, I need to know who else is going to be on that show. And I said to him, nobody else who I've invited to be a part of the show asked me who else is going to be on the show. And my question to him is, what is your problem? Why are you so afraid to sit down and have a conversation with anyone that has a position that opposes your view? Is your position that weak? I still wait near his response to that question. He ain't answered me yet. But I digress. We have to take a break. I don't want you thinking even if I like to try it. Luby don't want to come on this show. He know why, I guess. I don't know. Because I try to be fair and balanced. But he, for some reason, I hear him on other people's show, but he ain't want to come here. So y'all go figure that one out. We got to take a break. It's only the second break, right? Lord have mercy, it's 3:24. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more GPS after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and Low-Profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here, along with my guest Kai Mills. We're talking on this Hot Topic Tuesday about the hot topic that everyone is talking about nowadays, and that is that of illegal immigration. We are streaming live on Facebook, on the official Global 99.5 FM Facebook page, as well as the official Michelle Malcolm page. We're also available for call-ins at 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for text messages only is 8010271, 8010271, and we are available on Cable Bahamas channel 974. Okay, Cable Bahamas 974. That's where you can find us. All right. So when it was announced that there would be a demolition of the shanty towns in Abaco, there was quite a bit of uproar within the shantytown community, and some of them were asking the question, where will we go? I'm going to play this clip because it raises another question that needs to be considered, and that is whether or not there is fair criticism as it relates to what seems to be a housing crisis in Abaco. So listen to this, and then we're going to talk about it.
So coming down to the farm road of Treasure Key, Abaco to break down the homes will cause a lot of problems because there's nowhere to go.
As the government plans on moving forward with the demolition of shantytowns on the various islands of the Bahamas, one shantytown resident on Abaco is speaking out. Gerald Francois telling Eyewitness News that while he agrees structures and communities not built to the building code of the Bahamas should be destroyed, he reveals that he and many others are not staying in shantytowns by choice.
No government official has come to these communities to talk to us about what they plan to do with us. Like many of us are working, we are able to rent apartments, but because of the prejudice of Haitian and Bahamian and the fact that Abaco is lack of housing is the reason why many of us remain in the shanty town. It was not a choice. You understand? It was not a choice.
Francois says many people born in the Bahamas like himself and those who hold work permits live in shanty towns along with illegal migrants because of this issue, adding that Hurricane Dorian pushed Abaco into a housing crisis, with many Bahamians themselves looking for a place to live. Longtime Abaco resident Crystal Williams believes the government is making the right choice with demolition, as she says the issue of illegal migration is much deeper than just shanty towns.
The hardship of, labor. So many Bahamians can't get work because persons want to hire an illegal because they can pay them less money. The thought with demolishing the shanty towns is a great move, but at the same time, there are persons that need to be held accountable. We have persons that would have allowed illegals to lease property from them to build these homes. So we still have an even bigger problem. So this road is not going to be solved tomorrow.
Another Abaco resident who wished to remain anonymous has a more sympathetic view to those who could be displaced due to the demolitions.
They shouldn't have let it go on that far. I think there could have been solutions to the problem. They got tons of prime lands that's sitting there not doing anything. I'm not saying to give them away, but if you build a few low-cost homes, I'm quite sure whether it's Bahamian, Haitians, they'll all rent. Not like I said, ain't everyone want to live in certain conditions. Sometimes they just have no other choice. But again, I'm not saying that is right. You understand? I'm quite sure if there was some sort of options where they would, that they can afford, then yeah.
And when it comes to what would be the best situation for shantytown residents, Francois says this.
Government need to take time out to build some houses, to provide some houses where the people could buy or rent in North Abaco, because there's no housing in North Abaco, there's no apartments to rent. The government could send officials to go around and find out where these people could rent apartments, because everyone is working. We are hard-working people. We can't pay for an apartment if there was any apartments.
Kai, what are your thoughts?
Boy, living here, the first thing we got to do is take our town back. We have to now start thinking Bahamian first. You know what would be a beautiful thing, Michelle Malcolm?
What?
Is when the government do up all these plans, they think about Bahamians and Abaco. The young man said what happened to all of us. Every person within my district lost their homes, and some will never see a home again. And millions of dollars is being collected, and we still don't have a home. The government has built homes, so that shows you where the government is at. I started out by saying they got 5 or 6 houses available. They got about 10 houses available that should be given to people, but the government stopped building and they have rebuilt, and they haven't given one person a house in over a year, so they're not serious. There is a housing crisis. There's something that one Bahamian saw called Airbnb. They didn't even know what the hell Airbnb was, but everybody that rebuilt became an Airbnb renter. And some of them may rent a house and rent in a year, but they're still there, but they Airbnb and wouldn't allow anybody to move into a house that used to be rented. So we have a huge housing crisis here. But the first people that the government should be thinking about is the people that went through 2 hurricanes. Just ask yourself, Michelle Malcolm, what would they do if 2 hurricanes would have hit Nassau like they hit Abaco? Would there be not one single person in Nassau that the government would have not helped to rebuild? There would be a catastrophe in the country if the city center was destroyed. Our city center was destroyed. And right today, we can't even get water, Michelle Malcolm. Basic needs, the water's off 90% of the time. Every day, it's dripping, and it's just 3 miles from the main depot into Abaco. So they're not even worrying about our basic needs of water. And millions is being spent on the water depot. So what you think about housing? We can't shower, brush our teeth, or flush the toilet. Every night in the past 2 years, they shut the water off at 10 o'clock religiously, and nobody is saying nothing. So if you can't nobody can live without water. Some people can live without bathing for weeks, but I can't do it. We still have 2 buckets by our toilet 3.5 years later because the government haven't come to shore to figure out our basic necessity, our basic needs. So when you come to housing, that's a bigger problem. If you can't solve the smaller problem of water on a regular basis 3.5 years later, you think they're worrying about housing? But what I like to see, just like the government is now making us to feel a little bit more safer. I don't feel safe in Abaco because every 10 person is Creole. Before the hurricane, nobody in my neighborhood was of Haitian descent, but everybody, 50, 60 a day, walking the street in packs. So we are already outnumbered. But the thing about the housing, Michelle, the Haitians that are good, the Haitian contractors that are doing well, and all the illegal stuff, they are the ones that are billing into the shanty towns, and they are renting. I saw one girl that wasn't even a Bahamian. She built a triplex, and she's bragging about how much money she's coming in. She's illegal, and she's renting the illegal, and she ain't own no property, and she got the lumber off the dump, and they are making money off this. The Haitians are renting back to the Haitians that are good and legal. They're building 3 and 4 places. I was down there the last time I was down there. I went back since. There's a guy from Exuma. He's a contractor on Baker's Bay. He's building an 8-plex. I said, buddy, why are you in the back here? Say the Haitian doing it. So he got some Haitian working for him. So he can make some money. He can build an 8-plex. No water, no electricity. They're putting their sewage into our water table. But a Bahamian is adding to the escalating problem because he ain't see nothing as decent and law-abiding. He see money. And wherever you see there's money, there'll be corruption. And whenever you see more money, there's more corruption. So they ain't worrying about Bahamians, they ain't worrying about law, they worrying about the money. And that bring all evil and corruption. That's what happened in Abaco. Everybody want to be corrupted by money. Ain't about the Bahamas, ain't about the Bahamian, ain't about nothing but money. It's a money game. It's a cartel of crooks. That's what's going on in Abaco.
We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
I see you running out of time. You don't have much time. I hear the gentleman, Mr. Brother Mills, this is Mr. Amos Miller, talking. I was in Abaco to do a little job with my brother company over there in Treasure Key. And the Haitians, I'm not sure if they're legal or illegal, but one who don't know me and I don't know them because I ain't from there, said to me, heading home 4 o'clock. They were heading home 4 o'clock and I was getting off like 7. And the Haitian said to me, Michelle, Malcolm from GPS Live and Bahamas Listening and Mr. Mills in Abaco, that he's heading home, saying, I'm heading home now. I didn't have to worry about no police. He said they have to worry about police in Nassau. I don't have to worry about police over here, meaning in Abaco. Mm-hmm. Now, I said that to make this point. Even though that's true, no Haitian, Brother Mills, is responsible for their coming here. No Haitian who deciding to come here is responsible for deciding to come here. I'm telling you, in the last 49, just months away from the 50th Jubilee, the first Jubilee of our country. We ain't know how many us to see the second Jubilee or the third. But we know our leaders in the past have declared, and it only came to our knowledge who they really are or connected to after the fact, after the #1 seat in your country is taken. I need those. I thank God today, like the ladies who the scriptures say, thank God in the last days if you don't have no baby. I'm like one of those ladies today. I thank God today that who got for the school, drop out, what they like to call a high school dropout and bring down and disabled and defamed and, destroyed. Who are you who went to finish school, college, university, come back and was living in this country for the last 49 years with your degree, and you have not articulated before God's humanity world what the no good Amos have done? I want to say some things for the time right.
Yeah.
Hold your head.
No, don't encourage. You ain't got to encourage Amos to talk long. He don't need no encouragement for that. Okay.
Michelle, I just want to say something real quickly. Abaco is definitely the Abaconian, that Abaco that we used to know. We had 3 whammies. We had 4 whammies. We have sustained Hurricane Dorian, Hurricane Nicole, and right after Hurricane Dorian, we had COVID-19, and then we saw the legacy bringing in 3,000 one time, and the fellow was on the dock saying, my Lord, we're ruined. Where are all of these gonna go? They're still in places like Hopetown and other places that the Asians has moved into people's house and declared it their own. Many Bahamians had to fight to get their house back because the illegals went into their houses and demand them. I have my cousin right here now in Murphytown that she moved to the States and she happened to rent a house to a Haitian. He haven't paid her from October, and he swear to God that nobody could move out of her house. She's depending on the rent from her house. But the Haitian in Murphytown living in a house and dare anybody to move him out of the house. And he working in Baker's Bay, making a good salary, and he haven't given that girl $1 since October. And, there's so much wrong things that are happening to Bahamian. And these Haitians are lawless and they're rude. And when I go out, I feel threatened because I see 30, 40 young Haitian under 30 years old to pie one. So it takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery to even speak, because they speak in Creole and I know what they're saying, and they're over aggressive. And if anything happened to me, even Bahamians will celebrate because they don't want you to know the truth. I'm trying to bring shine light to the situation, but Bahamians are not willing to fight. You imagine somebody living in your house from October to now, and you don't have any idea how to get them out your house, and they are living and working in Baker's Bay and refuse to pay, and you go to the court, and the court give you the runaround. It takes you a year to get anything straight in the courts in Mount Shaba. So you're getting double whammy because trying to do the right thing. So we are on the edge and on the brink of losing our mind because of what has happened and what is not happening. There's no government, there's no member for parliament that's speaking on the real issues. I'm the closest to speaking on the real issues. I have not seen my member of parliament for North Abaco until I saw him yesterday when the prime minister came in. We're in Abaco. What are you speaking on? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing what is the more urgent needs of Abaconians? You're all in House Assembly, but you're clueless. Because how could you speak for us in the Honorable House when you don't speak to us? Each one of them had $100,000 already, our member of parliament, to do something in the district. You call them both and ask them, what did you do with the $100,000 that you got since being elected? Show me the paperwork. Who have you helped? What institution have you helped with $100,000? You know what they say? Dumbfounded. Because there's no check and balance, and they don't care. So what happens? We lose another 4 years of representation. The only thing, Michelle, that's wrong with this country, the only thing that's wrong with this Bahamas is the leadership. And if the leadership don't lead from the top, the bottom will follow. If we had that direct, decisive leadership that we know when they say something, they mean what they say and they say what they mean. You remember when they used to say that? But they say one thing to you, one thing to me, and they say one other thing to the Haitian. Don't mind Kai, I can say, I can do this, but you go ahead and build. Until Kai stop talking, then we'll do this. But we don't have that decisive leadership that's leading from the top and it will ricochet to the bottom. That is the Bahamas are missing. Decisive, direct leadership with integrity. That's a foreign word to leadership, integrity. Let them find that in the dictionary.
We have to take a break. Wow. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, and 3260272, 3260272. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. This is GPS.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy, with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. In the last 10 minutes of the show, my guest is Kai Mills out of Abaco. We've been talking about the activity that we've seen happening on the ground there as it relates to the process. The Prime Minister said we must trust as it relates to eradicating the illegal immigration problem. There's been talk within the region about sending a group of persons to Haiti to have talks there as to what the region can do to help to solve this problem. Let's quickly listen to what the Prime Minister had to say with regard to that.
Several CARICOM members come in yesterday to form part of a mission that we have commissioned for the purposes of meeting with stakeholders in Haiti. The main purpose for that mission is to ensure that we have stakeholders prepared for another meeting that is to be held in Jamaica next week, and to advise them of that meeting. And at the same time, talk to them about security of Haiti and how best to secure Haiti, so that we could create a space to allow for freedom of movement without fear of intimidation or violence. And in that regard, the principal role will be to empower and resource the Haitian National Police. The mission there is, along with Canada, is a Canada CARICOM commission that I put together during the course of the CARICOM meetings. The Canadian government is providing the security for all our persons who have gone down there. We're leading it.
So, as I have often said, no conversation with regard to solving this problem can be done so without consideration of what needs to happen in Haiti in order to stop this mass exodus of their people.
I'm not cutting you off, but I have an answer for the Prime Minister. This is an easy sell, you know.
Go ahead.
All of them would work in immigration, police force, and defense force with the Creole last name. Line them up to go down there so they could see and smell and appreciate the Bahamas when they come back. All of them with the Haitian last name with serving in the armed force, send them down there. But this is the problem what we have that I see in Abaco. We could see much clearer after the hurricane devastated everything. We could see in a distance. We have leaders that are not concerned about leading a legacy. When you have leaders that have served, some have served 2 terms, and when people call their name, they suck their teeth, they get angry because they left not one piece of legacy. They're not particular in leaving no legacy. All they're particular in doing was the incidents of what happened yesterday. We had about 50, 60 people, 6 ministers came over to open groundbreaking at Matlo's Key. And you would ask any Abaconians, if you would have a poll, would you agree to that $320 million being built in Abaco? And you go to Guanaki, an example of that is Baker's Bay. They're using Baker's Bay as South Africa. And you would ask the people of Guanaki, would you agree for another resort like that? They would say no. You go down to Cherokee and you have the Abaco Club. And you'd ask the residents of Cherokee, would you agree to have another resort like that in Cherokee? They say no. Then you go to Sandy Point. Whenever that $500 million or whatever started in Sandy Point community is forever ruined. What the government doesn't realize that these people that are coming here to build these mega resorts is for them, their bottom line is money. They don't give a hell about the government. They don't give a hell about the people because everybody got their hand out. It's about them making money off of our land, our sunshine, our beautiful water, our friendly people. And the government is signing off on these deals without any inkling of what they're signing off on because they're not concerned about leaving a legacy. And guess what? All these are signing off on these big things in Abaco. They would not be in power when these come to fruition. So they could brag about all these stuff. And all the leaders that sign off on Baker's Bay, Michelle Malcolm, we got about 3 or 4 restaurants in Baker's Bay, 5 bars. And neither prime minister that is not in power is welcome on Baker's Bay. If the boat break down, they got a skull. They can't come shore. They can't come on the dock. The children can't use the bathroom. That is the legacy that they're leaving behind. They're using the Bahamas to create a South Africa right in my back door and my front door, and now they're bringing one in Marsh Harbor. Black people cannot go to, right in Dunderstown where I am. The people has to go from use the bathroom. No black person could use a bathroom in Dunderstown, can't have a drink. They have a restaurant and a bar or bar on Dunderstown, and you can't even go in there to use the bathroom in Dunderstown, my birthplace. That is the legacy that they're leaving.
You exaggerate, right? You exaggerating, right? You're trying to tell me
if I lie, I'll drop her down. That's why they don't like me, because I tell the truth too raw, unscented, uncut. We can't use the bathroom in Dunderstown at the Baker's Bay because that is for white, rich people. Negroes can't go in that in Dunderstown. And then if you go in Dunderstown, Michelle, a $500 million resort that the whites is benefiting, the black people can't find no parking. Dunderstown is a mile parking that you have to struggle, and you have to park on people's property. 1.5 years later, everybody comes and see it, but they ruin my town of Dunderstown because everybody got to park in Dunderstown to go out to service the white people, and you can't even. They have a black fence to separate the black people going on the ferry and the white people going on the boat, and the blacks cannot use a white bathroom in Dunderstown today. That is the legacy that they have left behind, and they would leave. They're not putting these resorts for Bahamians. They are hosting for rich white people, and then guess what's happening? It's an incident of what happened in Baker's Bay. Baker's Bay brought a Gulf pro down, and he had no managerial position. But the owner of Baker's Bay liked him because he's a pretty boy with a pretty little white wife. So he put him with no managerial position, and he ran Baker's Bay for 10 years. And the government of the Bahamas gave him the work permit as a manager when they, in the first instant, give him a work permit as a Gulf pro. And all the managers from Grand Bahama and Nassau that's run all of these resorts, they cannot get no job in Baker's Bay as manager because they are black in a black country with black leaders that are ousting our country for white people, and blacks are going back. The Haitians get more autonomy in Baker's Bay than Bahamians. You know why? Because the Haitians, when they got in a position, they hire everybody of Haitian last name. And Bahamians can hardly get good position in Baker's Bay because the Haitians of Haitian descent in charge, and they bring in their people on the front line in Baker's Bay, the Abaco Club, and all of these resorts, because we have leaders that are not leaving a legacy for Bahamians. They're leaving a legacy of a concrete jungle for whites to act as a jingle and change. You ever saw that movie? That is how we getting treated in Abaco. You need more time for me because I got a lot on my stomach, and I thank you for inviting me because I want to let it all out. They are hating us as Bahamians.
We can't let it out now. Thank you, Kai. Thank you. Wow. You just
I just run hard because there's so much stuff.
To be a whole other show within itself, but we only got less than a minute, so I can't let you go no further. That's deep. That right there is deep. I want to thank you, Kai, for making yourself available and keep us abreast of what's going on the ground, whether or not the action that you saw continues, because we certainly hope it does. Got to let you go, though. Wow. I'm Michelle Malcolm, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Hot Topic Tuesday on GPS. Tomorrow is Bonus Wednesday. We're going to be looking at a matter that is of importance to your health. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Global 99.5.